nice to meet you. It's a big pleasure for me. And how was about the DJ set?
It was good.
It was good, no? You enjoyed. Now we're gonna speak just a little bit about production. I wanna just make you some questions so we can. I mean, we really love what we're doing here with production, everything, even with the school. So it's amazing to have someone like you here to explain just a little bit of what he loves about production and what it does. Now, the first thing I want to ask you is, you told me you use Ableton mainly, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
And basically, I mean,
Cubase, I did Cubase before, but now focus more.
You're more focused on Ableton,
techno,
no?
Yeah.
And I also think, that people like producing, what they really, at a certain stage, arrive where you say every program is the same for me.
Yeah.
Is what is really about what you do, no?
Yeah.
Now, what I want to ask you is, there is something that when you start a new project, is really the first thing you do every time, if there is any, and what you really like most about production. I tell you why. Because in every production there are many different stages, like from having the idea, I don't know, sampling something, starting from a synth line, a melody,
Crying.
an harmony. Yes, crying a lot, whatever. Some people could start from a vinyl sample, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is the first thing you do, if you have, or maybe you're just like every time is a new experience.
Basically, it's a chord. Basically, it's like something like where I'm always deciding, okay, which harmony I go. Because if I know which harmony I have, I can tune my percussions, I can tune my kick drum,
Amazing,
I can tune all this
So you
shit.
start from chords every time.
Exactly, yeah, always. It's like I have my kind of preset Ableton where all the MIDI connections are presetted, like my one.
Yeah, of course.
And then I'm going to start like to do a setup, which brings me like all those percussions in the right tune, maybe some synthesizers even in the right tune. So I make myself, okay, this is the tune, this is the harmony for now, and then I can play everything. So then I can be like creative in this harmony.
You know why it's amazing? Because I think as a musician, the most important thing is, I say always to my students, is like creating the mood for the song, and nothing can do more than chords and harmony, no? And when you do that, do you use lots of like outboard stuff, or you just rely?
In the beginning, there was outboard.
I know. And now what about the last period? Have you been using like
a lot outboard,
no?
Yeah. The thing is, like, I like all these small gears, so I prefer like 10 small gears instead of one Voyager synthesizer.
Yes,
stuff like
yeah,
this.
Absolutely.
And mostly I try to find a sound which is quite special. I'm looking always for new sounds, which is for me the most boring shit is like presets.
I know.
Stuff we are like, okay, this is like a mini Moog sound. All of us know
this. Yes.
So I'm looking for a sound, and then I'm looking for the whole environment surrounding that sound.
Oh, sorry.
This is your mother asking for a sound.
No,
and this is quite a good starting point. So my basic thing is I try to make a setup, and on this setup I can jam. So if I have the right tuning on the percussions and stuff, then I start to do a beat or something, and I still have this one sound maybe I wanna go with. Sometimes I'm dropping the sound, I'm skipping it anyway, but this is kind of the start thing. But then I push the record button for like half an hour, and I'm just recording.
Amazing.
I'm just recording with all mistakes, with all shit. I'm just recording.
I tell you something. It's amazing because it's the same way I love to work, and I think what people are missing today is not just about the sound. That we don't care too much, because I'm sure I can get really close even with my VST, whatever. It's just about the experience. The recording things is another process. It's another creative process, and it brings you something new. No, I'm really happy to find people still like, they understand what it means, no?
Yeah, it's like all this like music about talking about analytic gear, it sounds so much better. Yeah, okay, so it makes more noise and it makes even more problems.
Yes, that's what it's the same thing.
But it makes more fun because you can touch it. You can. I like to start not from this point sitting there staring on my screen. I start to be here in the corner playing some stuff. Being away from that computer thing. Like the computer is more this building together.
And that's why what I think is, there are like certain areas where the digital is gonna win, because it's cheaper, it works better, it doesn't give you problem. In music, it will never be like this. For the reason why all this stuff is coming back, because you need to touch them, you need to leave them. That's what I think, no?
Yeah, outboard is more close to instruments.
Yes, they're not absolutely.
It's
not like
more
a
like
machine.
programming.
Yes, absolutely.
What I like in VSTs is that I can program everything, like really detailed.
I know.
I'm more like, if I'm sitting there using VSTs, I'm becoming more a painter than a musician,
And what about the song? Because I was listening before again your song, the -1, no? And I was thinking,
This is a good example because
yes, because
it's basically one fucking chord from one synthesizer, and I was working a lot for this chord to make it as a teacher.
in fact, we were speaking with my friend Siwer, which is another very nice producer. We're thinking the same. All the job here is done by the harmony.
Yeah.
That was really not setting up.
The rest is
Yes.
anyway.
And then we're speaking about the drums, how
Yeah.
you tune them and everything.
Yeah.
It's really like. And let me ask you something a bit more specific. Okay, when you because you give me like the assist, so I'm gonna tell you. When you tune drums, how do you like to do that? Because some people, me for example, I really love to give like harmony even with drums, no? So I will set up like the kick on the key of the song and then maybe playing around with the other percussion, like giving a fifth, a third, depending. Do you do the same thing or you tune everything on the root?
I mean, percussion, and I mean the most important thing is the kick drum. The kick
Yes.
drum needs to find its place in the arrangement.
Yes.
So you first of all you have to decide on which tone I want to have the kick drum, to decide which tones the bass line is beneath or on top, whatever. If it's the deepest part on the track or is it not. So it's good to start to make clear in the beginning where we're going. But for the minus track, it was like I had this chords working on this synthesizer. It was the Tetra from Dave Smith.
Yeah, Dave Smith.
And I had the sound, and then I had to look for a kick drum, and then afterwards, then you have to do like the perfect pitching for it. In the end, like all the other percussions, for the status of jamming and so, I'm not taking care that much. I can do it afterwards as well.
Hey, you do later.
And for the tuning, it's for my taste, it's better to work with drum machines instead of samples. Because if you have samples, then you have to pitch a sample, and the sample always is becoming not stable.
Yeah, or at
cool.
least even though you use, I mean, lots of VST today that they emulate like 808, 909, they do a much better job than using samples. I always tell to make absolutely, even though you can take the best sample going through whatever outboard, but when you need to tune it, it's gonna lose something.
I never use.
Amazing, it's a very good.
Never use samples for that. I mean, I'm using the machine a lot, but for more the other percussions, like I don't know, shakers.
Yes, more organic stuff. Yes.
Whatever, because you can do cool rhythms and stuff. But for like kick drums, toms, all this like tone parts, I prefer to use like drum machines. I became a bit like.
What are
over
you
the
using
last
at the
years,
moment?
Like the kick drum is always from Tanzbär.
Amazing.
MFB Tanzbär. This is like the one.
Yeah,
I mean, so
yeah.
many people asking me because of my kick drums. Like, what's that kick drum? Because the Tanzbär, you can do different kick drums. You can do like more 909ish or more 808ish.
Yeah, for
kick
people
drums.
that doesn't know, it's basically an analog drum machine. No, it's full analog if I'm not wrong.
It's full analog.
Full analog.
It's full analog, and it has like two kick drums. Like one kick drum, there you have like an inner pitch curve.
Yes.
I mean, you have to know if you do kick drums, you have like two parameters. You have like a basic pitch of the main tone, and you have like like an inner pitch curve, which is making this boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom,
it's amazing.
boom.
Yeah.
So
It's the same story. What I usually do is the same. I always go when I have to do kick drum. I go on the modular. I set up the same story and I do the reason why is because you get the low end, the part at the end of the day. It connects like with the bass line, no?
Yeah.
So very very nice. No, I'm loving speaking with you because I can see that you really love what you do. No, which is
I have some kick drum experience.
I know. And if you wanna have some kick drum, would be amazing. Now, listen, another question. And we were having a look at your label, no? I mean, not your label. The label you released, Minus. And I also saw that you made a very nice collaboration with Tispark. That's how you pronounce it, Tispark.
T-Schwarz,
Yes, Tispark. What about that? Can you tell me something? Not just about this, but if you like collaborating with other artists.
Yeah, basically, I'm collaborating a lot. I did it in the past, but this year is more my year. So last year was a lot of collaborating. And T-Schwarz, I know since a long time. I mean, I know since like 8 years or something. They took me on tours. They were showing a lot of clubs. They brought me to Fabric. They put me to different clubs. So I'm really thankful to meet these guys. And we were producing a lot of stuff together. And I was releasing on their label, Souvenir. Minus is not on Souvenir, it's on Upon You.
It's
but I released like D-Tune, a couple of other tracks on Souvenir, a label which I really like. And so we got close together. And then they asked me like 2 years ago to I was like helped them with a production for a musical, which is in Berlin, like a really big musical. They were delivering some tracks, and we did the tracks together. and then they asked me to do tracks together, even like sitting in the studio, jamming together, releasing some stuff. And so it came that we were releasing on Watergate, we're releasing now in Union, and we're gonna release on another label, which I can't tell right now. And so it was like it was from friendship to productionship, so it was never like this kind of business relation. From
Then it started.
It's most like this because I want to treat music and doing music. It's like for me, it's like hanging with friends. You know, it's not always like this business shit. So I need to do something with this guy because then I'm gonna probably over there. I like that. I'm hanging even and doing music with a lot of totally unknown people in my studio because we hang there, we drink beer and we have fun because music.
That's what music should be.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, in the business, it's always like if your management says, you need to do something with this guy because it's good for a career, and I was like, I don't give a shit. You know, it's like I'm doing music for my shit.
Amazing.
And if I have get money out of it, it's cool. If I don't get money out of it anyway, I would do it. In any case, I would do it.
Yeah, and you say you can always find, if you're really professional what you do, and you become like, I don't know, a very nice musician or an engineer, then you can do many different things while you do. No, it's amazing. And because you are so amazing about that, tell me, what would the best tip, advice you would give to someone starting today to make music, to make electronic music, because it's what we do, no? Because I think, from my point of view, no, what you just said is the reality. Lots of people start making music today with the wrong approach, no? Thinking more. What would you say?
Fucking.
Yes.
They want to fuck girls.
Yes.
Or want to fuck boys.
Yes, whatever. Yes. But what I'm thinking is, instead to lots of guys, which I know because of the school, and I can see it's full of people really loving making music, and it's amazing, and it's growing always more. Which advice, which tip would you give to someone starting, seriously committed to say, okay, this is, I don't know if it will become my job, but I want to do this, like, seriously. That's what I love. Then maybe, no, I'm not gonna eat with that, but at least I'm gonna do that, like, seriously, professionally.
I mean, there are like two parts. There's this art part, being creative, being a producer, and for this part, first of all, it's important to follow your inspiration and follow your what's inside of you. Don't copy someone or don't try to be like someone. Find your own shit. Find your own way. Find the mistakes you do and find the good things you do, and then understand who you are and what can you do. Like this, you can listen to a lot of tracks and you can go to the studio and try to sound like this guy or that guy. This is a good training, but don't release music like this. But being an artist means like to do your art and your expression. This is important. The first thing. On the technical side, it's like just fucking get up 7 and 8 in the morning and do the shit the whole day. Be like, don't be lazy. Watch YouTube tutorials, go to sound schools, ask people, join other studios, ask guys, be interested.
100% committed on that. No, but it's amazing. No, for us, maybe it was because I think we have almost the same age, but when I was younger, anyway, the point is, it was maybe more difficult to get signed, whatever, because there was a very big gap. Today is much easier, but on another side, we were, I don't know how to explain, it was easier to get on that stage, to be all day doing this, because today you look around, it's full of people doing this, I don't know, you don't find maybe not the inspiration or whatever, but I think that's the only way to get somewhere, whatever you do. Waking up and thinking to that all day long. And one very last thing, what do you think about, because you told something, but because lots of people cannot afford at the beginning to buy hardware stuff, because
you don't need much.
Yes, you don't need much.
Don't need much.
Well, that's what I would like you to tell us. Which is the basic studio setup that you would advise to anyone starting to do this? Okay, now I'm doing it seriously. What would you advise? I don't know, monitor. I would say a stair of important things. I will start from this, then going to that, then going to that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you need like a laptop. You need something like Ableton. I mean, you can go Cubase or whatever. You can do it. I have one guy I'm mixing. He's doing everything with Reason, and it's amazing. I would not
do whatever you want.
You can do it with any kind of DAW.
Yes.
You can Cubase, whatever Logic. You can. Kink has his own one. Everyone is doing it on their own way. The second thing is like you need good monitors, and you need because you need ears. Your monitor, your ears. That doesn't mean you need like the most expensive ones.
No,
you
what
can
would
have cheap
you
ones,
suggest?
on a lower price level, I mean, I love Neumann. I have the like KH310,
Yes,
like the
very
middle
nice.
ones. So you have the smaller ones as well, but they're amazing. They have less bass, but they're amazing. But you don't need that much bass.
Yeah.
I would never suggest to have like a subwoofer and stuff, because
No.
most people I know, they have subwoofers and they can't deal with it. They're always like, a subwoofer is always like, you have too much bass or less bass, and you're
In
just
fact,
moving it to
That's
your room.
why.
and
That's
spending
why
time.
here we are using the 8050
Exactly,
because it's the
because-
maximum you can get
Yeah.
with. That's it.
Exactly, but they're for the
don't go
beginning, they're a bit too expensive.
Yes.
They're a lot. I think you need to go to the shop and you need to test them. And if you like one and you can deal with it, then it's fine. And if you know, the next level is bring it to your room, make some acoustic treatments to your room, which is easy. You can do easily.
I know.
And then
You can
get
even build
it-
by yourself. Lots of people, lots
Yeah,
of my
absolutely,
students.
absolutely.
I always like tend to tell that to them. You want to do an acoustic, you can. Actually, all this stuff is handmade.
Yeah.
Maybe I couldn't do everything by myself, of course. But if you study beats, there are lots of information
exactly.
today.
And you don't need like the most perfect sound in the
No,
world.
no,
you
at
need a
least-
room which you get used to and which you know. If you know your room, I saw
Headphones?
people
What do you think about headphones?
headphones.
Yes.
I'm doing a lot with headphones. Like for the creative part, it's totally cool because headphones brings the music more close to you.
Yes.
It's more intense. It's more like, wow, I can feel it, everything. But it's difficult then to understand how the music sounds in a room, like in a
Yes,
club.
yes.
Sometimes the difference between headphones and club. I mean, this is a problem. If I'm listening to like promo music, basically I do it on headphones and not in the studio because I try to
Yes,
separate these
separate.
places. And then I'm listening on headphones. I was like, wow, fuck, that sounds so good. And then you play it in the club, and it's like, wow, that sounds so not good. Because then you know there's
Yes, you
a
get.
bit difference.
Which headphones are you using at the moment for production?
Actually, I have shitty ones for productions. I have I'm now like I'm looking for good ones. I'm looking for like in the price range like 2,000 euros.
Really good.
Yeah, really
headphones.
good ones. There are a lot of, but I'm not decide to one headphone. I'm using now Audio Technica ones for 99 euros.
Oh, actually,
It's
they're good.
expensive,
They're
but
good.
I know them. Before I was using the biodynamics, like the I don't know.
190 or
Yeah,
the
the basic ones. I don't know, like
Okay.
the fully closed ones.
Yes.
I'm using the AKG, I don't know the number. I have them since years, like
Okay.
the half open.
No,
ones.
I'm telling you that because one advice I give to guys, and I wanted to know if you agree with that, is getting good open back headphones because
Exactly.
like
You get to-
I'm
need to get
suggesting
used
like
to it.
Bayer Dynamic, like the 990. No, I'm all my guys are buying
A
that.
good combination is like open ones or half open ones.
Yes, like
for
the
like
8080.
for the perfect sounding and for the fun and for the DJ feeling.
Yes.
It's totally enough to have Sennheiser
Yeah,
HD
absolutely.
24.
Yeah,
You can produce all your stuff. I mean, I know my DJ headphones like the HD 24. I know them so good that I can do every production on them. And that counts. The worst thing what you can do is change your headphones
I
every
know.
2 months.
But like
and you will
even-
never
yeah.
get used to one.
No, but even like changing. I remember when I came here the first time, everything was set up amazing. Now I start to mix. I had to wait like 5 months to release something because
Yeah.
it was like no way. I couldn't get nothing right.
You have like the most relaxing life if you know your wife.
I know.
You know?
And you know your monitors as well.
Exactly.
Okay, it was amazing. Is there anything else that you would like, you personally say? Because I mean, we could be all day long speaking.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
is that something that you would love to say to people making music, interested in, or even people just listening to music, to electronic music? Something that you really think it's important?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things is like I know there are outside there are like thousands, millions of people doing amazing music and they never release a track because they're always unsure and they never finish a track. I mean, one of the biggest problems in releasing music is to finish a track and try to, if you sit there and everything feels so bad and you feel like I'm so weak and it's so shitty what I do and I cannot do it, I'm not talented, stop that shit. Shut down the computer,
Go out.
get outside, have
Drink
a
a
walk, drink a beer, meet some friends, and then get back. Never get like this kind of crampy guy sitting there getting depressed about this shit.
I
No,
know.
be,
But you have
do it
been for at
lightly.
least one day. You have been as well.
Yeah, true. And if you have music, don't ask your best friends how do they find it. Ask people they're far away from you and people they are able
Completely.
to say what is this about. Like
Yes.
in the beginning, when people sending me music, in the beginning I was like, yeah, I like it somewhat, but and really I didn't like it. And now I try to be really honest.
Yes.
Like, to being honest is really cool to say, no, I don't like it. That doesn't mean it's shitty, but I don't like it, and I think it's a bad quality, whatever. Be honest to the people that they know. If you go to your friends and play your music, you will never get back a really good feedback. So you have always to look for kind of strange people in the business, whatever. Strangers sending me music, I give just my opinion back.
You know what? But then we finish, because I think you guys, you also need to eat something.
Everyone is sleeping here.
No,
you can see it, but
no, they're loving it. Trust me. No, let us speak. But what you got? Because every student, every guy sending me stuff even for my label, and they always say, but because I send stuff to the big ones and they don't listen. And what I suggest is keep sending, because you never know.
Sure.
It happened to me, so keep sending. You never know.
Yeah.
Nobody starts like famous or whatever known. But the second thing, what do you think about the promos? People sending promos to big DJs without even releasing stuff. So before like releasing, they send promos. Because I have lots of guys.
I have to be honest, like, if people sending me stuff to my Facebook fan page, I'm not listening to it, because most of the stuff is not ready. But if I meet people and talk to people, then we exchange email addresses, and they send me stuff, and then I'm listening to it if I have the time. So I try to, and then I give a real feedback. I think, that's what I said. Like, if you do music, be kind of sure that you're kind of ready to send something out or whatever. But keep on trying. Like, don't be shy in the end. I would never say don't send your stuff to DJs. Do it. Keep on sending, spamming, whatever. Like, the big DJs, they have an intern, and the intern is checking everything, so they don't have stress with it. But in the end, it's like, as you said, like, so many people are doing music right now, so there's so many promos, so many tracks, so many stuff. Sometimes you get headache to get through all the shit. So, but it's like that, and it's okay. So, but I would never say stop doing that. So keep on spamming, keep on.
Perfect. It was amazing. I would keep going, but then you don't need to.
Don't worry.
You don't play tonight, so I think you need to go.